All right, here's the three problems that you were supposed to do on your own. Let's go ahead and go over those answers together. So tell whether the equation represents direct variation. If so, identify the constant of variation. So we can't tell with any of these. We're going to have to solve for y. So I'm going to add x to both sides, and I'm going to get y equals x plus 1. Is this direct variation? No, it is not, because remember, direct variation is y equals ax or mx. This has a plus 1, which means it is not direct variation. It has a term being added on, so it doesn't work. Okay. What about number 2? Again, I got to solve for y. Subtract 2x for both sides. I get y equals negative 2x plus 0, but it's plus 0, so I'm not going to write it. Is this direct variation? Yes, right? It's got this y equals ax thing. So this is direct variation. My constant of variation, as it says here, constant of variation is negative 2. Because that's my a value, right? My constant of variation, remember, that's the slope. That is the slope. So that's negative 2. Finally, number 3, we're going to solve for y again. Subtract 4x, subtract 4x. I get negative 5y equals negative 4x plus 0. But I'm not going to write the plus 0. Then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 5. And I'm going to get y equals 4/5 x. Is this direct variation? Yes, it is, because it fits the y equals ax thing. This is y equals ax. Then what is my constant of variation? It is 4/5, because the constant of variation is the slope, and this is the slope. It's the number multiplying the x. It's the slope. It's the constant of variation, right? Got a couple of names there. All right, so if you have any questions on this, make sure you can leave them in the comments, talk to your teacher. Otherwise, let's move to the next example, which is graphing direct variation. Now, we learned about graphing in y equals mx plus b form in the previous video, where b is the y-intercept and the m is the slope. Now, remember, graphing direct variation is a line through 0, 0, right? The b, the y-intercept, is 0. So all we have to do to graph direct variation is put a point on 0, 0, because that's my slope, right? Because there's no plus something out here. It's plus 0. Y-intercept is 0. And then I use my slope. And remember, of course, slope is change in y over change in x. So I'm looking at, for this particular problem, going up 2 and then right 3. Up 2, right 3, place a point. We can also go the other direction, down 2, left 3, make a point. And that is my line. Again, direct variation goes through 0, 0. So we start by putting a point on 0, 0, because direct variation will always go through 0, 0. And then I use my slope to find the next one. This is negative 3 over 1, which tells me to go down 3 and right 1. Down 3, right 1. Down 3, right 1. We can also go the opposite direction, up 3, left 1. But again, that's my line. It goes through 0, 0. It is direct variation because it goes through 0, 0. So there it is. I just use my slope to graph. All right, I got some practice for you back on your Canvas. Please go do that problem, and then we'll see you in the next video to go over the solution.